So now I see what the game is being played. So Patrick Bet-David, one of those alternative medias, he is now doing what Elon and Vivek are doing, and basically referring to race. That white nationalists, that's what they would say about me because I call him out, that we want everyone deported. No, I've said Elon should be deported. He came as, but I'm not saying I think, I could let go. I mean, anybody can let go of, you came illegally, fine, that was 30 years ago. And yeah, somebody in Silicon Valley got you a student visa and then you went, but you came here illegally. The thing that's sad is the people that come here illegally, as opposed to the people that come in the legal way, you will notice a big difference between those people. The people that immigrate legally, they truly have a love for the country. They have a heart for America. But the people that illegally come here, but then they get, they're so rude, they step all over. So from the very onset, they've disrespected our country by coming here illegally. And when I say illegal, I mean running across the border kind of stuff. They're not asking for asylum or any of that. Okay? So even if it was so the reason I say Elon should be deported, and I don't care if it happens, I just don't, what does he add to the country? Because he's clearly is just creating chaos. It is easy to check the statistics about what him, just this past year, what Musk did at Tesla, what Zuckerberg did at his company, and what Bezos did. They all, like around May 2024, laid off a ton of American citizens. They all have a bunch of workers that are on H-1B visas. And again, you're not a legal citizen when you're on an H-1B. Because they wouldn't want them that way. They all, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Silicon Valley in general, they want the H-1Bs because then that immigrant has to be under them as the sponsor. So then Elon can keep the conditions however he wants because he knows that they're not going to go running and telling anybody how long they have them working or how bad the work conditions are because they'll be afraid to be deported. It's indentured servitude. So that's why I think that Elon should be deported. It's like if you came here illegally to begin with, even though it was 30 years ago, and that's the kind of idea you think is adding value to America, that's really distorted. Plus, I mean, the Tesla vehicles aren't adding anything. But, I mean, he's not going to be deported. Nobody's looking to deport him. Okay, but what's funny, and this is Patrick Bet-David, but this was from a different channel that was likely saying how he's doing the same thing that Elon and Vivek do. So this is the easiest way to see the globalists, because this is where they'll go, is to this white thing, most especially white nationalism. I don't view a white nationalist is a racist. I don't think there's many of them around, but he happened to find one and he had him on his show. How convenient. Because it's almost like, and I did mention, yeah, he's an immigrant from Iran. I didn't say he came here illegally. But I found what he doesn't want to mention any of the things I'm saying about the H-1B visas, about how Elon Musk laid off American citizens just last year and then turned around and applied for a ton of H-1B visas. He didn't because he can pay them cheaper and they're under his sponsorship. It's that simple. He doesn't want to say that. He doesn't want to say how he is actually going to the place when it comes to that Tesla explosion, where he's saying, why are all these American army men turning on the country like this? He can't even see. I mean, he doesn't even know that, with as good friends as he is with Elon, how does he not know that the Tesla Cybertrucks are self-driving? They can be remotely controlled. Do you see what I mean? So he's not. So that's when I become. You have to wonder, because he doesn't really have a love in his heart for America, which is fine. I've never said he should be deported. I'm not for deporting every immigrant, but that's what he'll make you think. He will. He will, but I think that immigrants that come here the legal way, I think many times those people have more love for America than actual citizens that are born here. I do, because they go through the process. It's that important to them. That's why it's shitty to everybody when you just come running across the border, and then 30 years later you want to bring in immigrants like Elon does, because you don't want to pay American engineers. And really, it's not even the pay. I mean, it is, but it's also because if he hires Americans, then they can leave him and go somewhere else, and they can report him to the state for the horrible working conditions. So he doesn't want to deal with any of that. He wants to be able to have bad, poor working conditions, because Elon Musk has a history of that. And he wants to be able to have that, and the best way to have that and get the cheap labor is you got to have H-1B workers, because they're not legal citizens. They're just here for 3 years under a visa, and the employer is the sponsor. You will not hear him say any of that. But what you're going to see him do is exactly what Elon's done and Vivek's done. And because they turn it into this race thing, it tells you they're globalists. And it also makes you wonder, because he's going as far as to say, because this is even though this is PBD, this is somebody else's channel. Because yeah, his audience has turned on him. Look, this is the man that the biggest red flag was that he won as soon as Trump had put Elon Musk in that Doge position. He, the next day on his show, was saying Elon Musk needs to be more protected. Elon Musk is public enemy number one. And then he was talking about how can we get the laws changed so that Elon can run for president someday. That was over the top. Over the top. But now because I'm not the only one that's realized, what are you talking about? Because I saw his comment section the other day, when he was talking about, and he wasn't being truthful. And so people in the comment section, they were calling him out, and they're doing it on Twitter. So now this is where he's going. This is always where the globalists will go. That's how you can always tell who they are. They will always, just like Vivek and Elon, they've all, and as I said, that the horrible way that Elon and those other men at Twitter treated Laura Loomer, that was nothing more than what do they call those? They call those it's part of implicit bias training, but it's also it's called a power or a race struggle. Like they have to do everything to demean you and punch you down. That's what it's like, a struggle session. I forget, it's something along those lines. So it's everything is negative about it. It's called implicit bias training. That's what they were doing when Elon Musk and those other fools were going off on Laura Loomer. That's why I was telling people to go to that Mantis channel. I mean, now that person has a ton of videos up that are like music videos, but if you go all the way to the bottom, it has these meltdowns that Elon had, and one of them, him and his other people that work at X it was a total struggle session to do everything to demoralize Laura Loomer. And again, because of H-1B visas. But all of them, this is where they've gone. So this is why who he supports isn't Trump. He carried on that he did. But as soon as Elon Musk became in that Doge committee, that's all these guys have done is carry on about how important he is. So they never supported Trump. But this is what you'll see them do, is they're going to try to make people like me or others seem like we're just white nationalists. And instead of buying into that, because I've made it very clear what my problem is with this, what all of them are doing, is that what they're showing is that they're globalists. They actually are the people that hate American citizens. They love America because of what it's given to their pocketbooks, but they hate American citizens. That's what this is about. It's not a white nationalist thing. It's that we're calling you guys out because you hate American citizens. Whether they came here legally and became American citizens or were born here. That's who you hate, and you're proving you're globalists because you're pulling this bullshit.